What's going on YouTube? It's your boy, Dummy Wormy. I'm coming at you with another intergalactic video because my god, there just keeps being something to talk about with this. And guess what? I'm gonna talk about it because it's so funny in my opinion. But for those of you who aren't aware by now, Intergalactic is the brand new game being put out by Naughty Dog, an already over-the-top woke company that famously decided to do Last of Us 2, which killed off Joel within the first hour or so, and proceeded to give us just the diatribe of one of the wokest adventures of all time, leading to, I want to say it was Seattle, Washington, but it could have been also Oregon. I usually get those two states mixed up because they're right next to each other. Being a safe haven for trans politics and trans identifying people within a zombie apocalypse. That's just the tip of the iceberg on that game. But yes, we're going to continue talking about Avowed, which as of now stars this beautiful specimen of a man. Yes, this is one of the big things within Avowed is that it's pretty easy to tell within the first minute and 11 seconds because it's a glorified teaser trailer that took us this long just to get any actual substance of the actual trailer. But following the release of this trailer, we ended up seeing something very hilarious just go down as gamers everywhere began to ratio every single trailer. You come right over here to the Game Awards trailer, 11,000 downvotes to only 2.7 upvotes. We could come right on over here to IGN's 60,000 downvotes to only 17,000 upvotes. Next, we got the PlayStation trailer, 213,000 downvotes to only 89,000 upvotes. And last but not least, the creme de la creme, the cherry on top, we got the Naughty Dog trailer, sitting at 150,000 downvotes to only 63,000 upvotes. And on top of that, with all the other trailers leaving their comment section on, Naughty Dog decided to silence any and all criticism from the audience by shutting down the comment section. Well, since then, we did end up having Neil Druckmann come out here and talk about what's going to be in the game, some of the aspects of the game. Apparently, there's going to be a religion in the game that is brand new and that people are putting their faith in and blah, 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 blah. But what it really boiled down to was the fact that Neil Druckmann did in fact confirm that it was going to be the wokest game ever because he said that everything that we've done has led to this point. All their previous game decisions, all the stuff that they've made in previous outings will be being put to the test here in this brand new IP. So you can pretty much figure out, yeah, they made you look this way for a very specific reason, which is political in nature. And because people have been ratioing every video, people have been talking about this nonstop, people have been pointing out all the flaws already, we got some massive cope going on. Naughty Dog shields cope as Intergalactic, the Heretic Prophet trailer gets mass downvoted. Now, these are just some of the current screenshots from roughly a handful of Redditors, but I got some more, and it's really telling just how much cope is going on right now. I can actually use an argument that's now going around that really doesn't make much sense considering the context of everything. People are deciding to come out here and, well, compare our lovely maiden here to Ripley from Alien 3 and saying, well, Ripley shaved her hair off in Alien 3. Why are you criticizing it now? Why do you have a problem with it now? Don't you guys like Alien 3? Well, first of all, people really hate Alien 3, but second of all, I don't really think that's a good argument to be making right now, mainly considering in Alien 3, Ripley specifically shaves off her hair and ugifies herself to make herself look more like a dude. Considering she's on a prison planet filled with dudes the entire time, and it's for her own safety so she doesn't, you know, get assaulted. So I don't really think that's a argument you really want to be making. But when we come back over here to some of the cope that's right now, it's so beautiful, so tasty that it just gotta love it. Just ignore these people the way they should ignore something they aren't into. All they want is attention. There's a million games out there if they don't like what Naughty Dog is doing. There's plenty of popular games that aren't my thing. You know how I handle them? I don't play them. Well, I'm not really going to play this game anyways, but I mean, you know, if it ticks you guys off, maybe I will, just for the fun of it, because all this is good. But let's tackle this argument head on, okay? Just ignore it. Don't talk about it, okay? If you don't like something, don't talk about it. And I've also heard this argument from people that say, well, if you don't, why talk about, you know, Disney Star Wars still? Why talk about this? Why talk about that? We have recently two very good examples. Actually, I'm going to say three very good examples of when we talk about something that is negative and we point out what's actually going on within the game or the movie or whatnot. It doesn't really do well. For example, the Marvels. Everybody talked about that. How did that do? We could point to the Acolytes. Everybody talked about that. How did that do? We also have Dragon Age, the Veilguard. How did that game do? Not very well. So when they talk about this whole thing of don't discuss what you don't like, if you don't like something, don't talk about it. It'll just go away. Go do something else. Well, when we talk about something, we can get to other people to recognize why we don't like something. You know, it's an entire thing, and it can actually have an impact. Funnily enough, just let these people be miserable. The game benefits you way more than them, so power to you. I just hate people on the internet sometimes. Well, I mean, I do too, but I don't vocalize it that much. Still baffling that 180,000 people would be so miffed over a bald-headed they'd go out of their way to dislike a YouTube video. Like, it's a space game. Hello, Ripley, I get their beyond sense. And this happens to so many games now, but yikes, edit. Nasty comments with thousands of likes. Reminds me of the reaction to Angela and Silent Hill 2, which eventually released to universal acclaim from critics and players. So, yeah, but people still pointed out, you know, it really doesn't make much sense to have this ugly character go through her own storyline. It doesn't make much logical sense, but the game was all around good. Guess what? The same thing could happen here. I'm willing to bet it's not, but it could happen. Nothing's stopping this. And by the way, nobody's stopping you from being excited about the game or wanting to play the game. I do have to acknowledge that. Not one person out here is saying you can't buy the game and stopping you from enjoying the game. You just don't like that the general audience and the vast majority of people disagree with you right now. Another wokeness crusade for the grifters to cash in on. Bashing a game they had absolutely zero intention of ever buying or playing. If it sells well, it'll be a massive conspiracy to push wokeness. If it undersells, prepare to hear, hey, hey, go woke, go broke for weeks on end until the next crusade starts. Well, doesn't that kind of put you in a catch-22? Because either way, we're going to scream wokeness. I mean, if the game's good, we're going to come out here and say the game's good. Isn't that the funny part about this? Because we actually have principles. We actually have standards. If something comes out here that, you know, we think is going to be dog water, some of the worst things ever, we'll actually tell you that it's good. We were wrong, and we'll show you receipts and say, hey, we were wrong about this. I recently had my own video in which I had to come out here and tell you all I was wrong when it came to Marvel Rivals. Interesting how that all goes down. A Naughty Dog reveal was a true early holiday gift. F the haters, they obviously know what they are doing, and this game is going to blow us away in ways that only ND can do. Well, I mean, Naughty Dog really hasn't put out a game since The Last of Us 2. Everything else has just been re-releases and relaunches and blah, 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 blah. So, no real promises here, and yet this game's been worked on since 2020, so you can already imagine the ideology that's been poured into there ever since the Summer of Love. But I mentioned, like, there's more to this. There's more to these people coping and seething, because I'll come over here to Pirate Nation. Naughty Dog shills in full-blown cope mode. Don't look at the like to dislike ratio. Look at the like to viewers ratio. The fans are excited, people disliking. We're never going to buy the game anyway. This game will be amazing. You don't know that, Okay, you don't know that the people disliking weren't going to buy this game anyway. You have no proof to back that one up. But yeah, okay, let's do some of this gameplay right here. Let's look at the likes to view ratio, because I don't think you're going to like what comes up here. So I pull up the Naughty Dog. That's 1.2 million views, 63,000 upvotes to a whopping 150,000 downvotes. Where's all those numbers, huh? Yeah, where's the numbers in favor of you? Let's go to PlayStation. 1.8 million to only 89,000 upvotes. That's not a whole lot, because again, we got more downvotes. We got more than double the amount of downvotes on the PlayStation trailer. Let's go IGN. 611,000 views, 17,000 upvotes to 60,000 downvotes. Again, more people are downvoting. What about the Game Awards? 92,000 views to only 2.7 upvotes. These numbers aren't really adding up, because most of these people don't recognize that the vast majority of audiences will watch the trailer and they won't like or dislike. They just won't. Heck, majority of audiences don't even leave comments. So if you're seeing a mass wave of dislikes and a very small wave of likes, that's telling you already the vast majority of people coming in here are disliking what they are seeing. So your whole little notion here doesn't even follow through with logic on how YouTube works. But again, we've been seeing this, okay? We see this every time something like this comes out. We saw it when it came to Dragon Age the Veilguard. We saw it when it came to the Marvels. We saw it when it came to the Acolyte. We see it when it comes to Doctor Who. We see it time and time again, that these people can't recognize that people don't like what they have to give, okay? The people don't like this nonsense anymore. People don't like the whole diverse woman of color with shaved head that looks like a dude and gonna be going on some dude journey and being the strongest person ever. People are sick and tired of this stuff. People are tired of this nonsense. We've been dealing with it for 10 plus years now. So yes, they do want to go out and do something different, and they're allowed to vocalize their displeasure in all of this. It's not racism, it's not sexism, it's none of this. All your nonsense has led to this point that people are just rejecting it. And they can't wrap their head around it. They can't acknowledge it. And even when you get like Asmongold coming out here with a bland take, like literally one of the safest, most unoffensive takes in the history of takes, you end up getting Hassan freaking out and defending all this, defending the uglification of women, defending all this stuff, because we have to defend it non-stop, because this is what our ideology says. We have to defend it and oppose whatever they have to say. Okay, then go around and tell every gamer out there that this is what we're going to be getting in games from now on. Go do it. Tell them all. Because we're seeing financial differences here. We're seeing people respond with their wallet very differently. Stellar Blade, super successful. Outlaws fails. First Ascendant, super successful. Dragon Age the Veilguard fails. Marvel Rivals, super successful. Concord fails. We're seeing two very different sides here, okay? We're seeing the side that has none of this nonsense in it, has attractive women in it, and is just fun games, actually succeeding, and the side with all the nonsense in it, all the progressive BS that we keep getting shoved in our faces time and time again, is failing over and over and over again. And that's what's making these people freak out. That's what's making these people cope. They can't handle the fact that we don't want this stuff anymore. So now they have to justify it by saying that we're all the baddies, that we're just the bad guys, and they're going to defend it tooth and nail, even though more than likely this is a massive flop waiting to happen. But I'm going to leave it there. Let me get you guys' thoughts on all this down in the comments below. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, share it with friends, hit the subscribe button, hit that notification bell for every time I put out a new video go live, guys. And I'll see you on the next one. Bye for now.